taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. All right, into the final hour as we continue on Coast to Coast on a midweek Where Do You Hurt Wednesday. Of course, get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's free. You'll love it. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. And you get everything on here, highlights, news scores, in-game odds, you name it. And you can watch the network on the app. You can also listen to the network on the app. You're going to love it. The SportsGrid app. Good to have all of our TV and radio affiliates with us today as we continue talking football.
And indeed we do, Scotty. Why don't we start next? First of all, the Rockies got one back 5-1. Diamondbacks lead the Rockies in the desert, bottom of the fourth. Still 4-0 Padres and the Buccos out at Petco. More football for you. The Patriots have begun lightly shopping Matthew Judon around with no progress in contract talks with him. What exactly, Scotty, does lightly shopping mean? I mean, you're either taking calls and talking to other teams, or you're not lightly. What does that mean? Like, you just lightly walk around the store?
Lightly shopping is when you go shopping with your girlfriend and you have no money, so you don't buy anything. Right. You just look at things and see what you wish you could have. The reality is this. He's their best player on the team, and they are unwilling to pay him to play football for the price that he's worth. And I think they're making a huge mistake. I also don't believe I really can't believe they're this stupid. Like, really? You're gonna let this guy go? You're already bad enough. And now you're gonna let this guy go and you're gonna really tank it up? Because that's what they're looking at here. This is going to be a miserable team, a miserable season, and you're going to let your best player be miserable on top of it and not give him the money he deserves. Judon is a badass. Lightly shopping. They don't want to get rid of him, and no one's going to give them tons for him. They got the Patriots between a rock and a hard place. They're going to have to pay him. It's that simple.
It is that simple, whether they like it or not. If they want to lightly shop him to Buffalo or Pittsburgh or one of those places. I mean, if you'd like to lightly shop them, we'll lightly listen.
Can you imagine if the Steelers had Patrick Queen and Judon and T.J. Watt on the same defense, what they would do? I mean, honestly, you think they'd be 7-1 then to win the North?
Probably not. They'd go up a little bit. Go down a little bit, I should say. Dan Campbell says that Jahmyr Gibbs is fine. This will be the start of our run of coaches saying that everything's fine. Everybody's fine. Dan Campbell said this morning that Gibbs, who's going to have that hamstring issue, is going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about there. Jamar Chase has not practiced with the Bengals the entire training camp. He has been a hold-in. He's there, but he's not practicing. But yesterday was the first time he didn't even show up and stand on the sideline and watch. Zach Taylor called him day-to-day. Don't tell me, Scotty, the guy got hurt walking around the building. Don't tell me that, because he's not practicing. Don't tell me he got hurt watching film. He's day-to-day.
Well, listen, I think he's dealing with this. Let's just face it. Mike Brown's a geezer, and he's so old school, and he's so cheap. And he knows that he had to pay Burrow, and he knows he has to pay Chase. And he just is not happy about it, that he has to pay this guy the same kind of money as Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. And that's just bottom line. He's their best player along with Burrow. They're the whole team. They're the whole offense. You're talking 10 targets a week, every week. And they didn't want to pay T. Higgins. They don't want to pay anybody. You know what they are? Let's face it. The Browns are the Rooneys. They're cheap. And that's why this guy's not at camp today, yesterday, didn't practice, hold in, hold out, hold these. Hold everything. Hold the cheese. Honestly, I don't care anymore. They have to give this guy his money he's going to get it one way or the other. It's inevitable. It's just a matter of time. This is all a gigantic waste of our attention spans.
Correct. That is precisely what it is. I have more Zach Taylor in a moment. Browns and linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah agreed to a 3-year extension worth $39 million. I might have got that right, Scotty. We'll have to find out down the line.
That just sounds like a good coffee blend.
It does. Indeed, it does. All right, I have a bunch of coaches for you today. Why don't we start with Dennis Allen? A lot of people are down on the Saints because they just don't think Dennis Allen is very good. But you got to remember, Dennis Allen's a football coach, Scotty. So when you start throwing words like metaphor at Dennis Allen, don't expect him to have any idea what you're talking about. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the metaphors to you guys.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, but what is a metaphor?
Oh, God.
What is a metaphor? Like, what's the official definition of metaphor?
A metaphor is like using something as comparison as like an example, right?
Okay. All right. I got it.
Oh, God, what a horrible moment for him. That's a horrible moment for him. Here's what I learned a long time ago. When you can't pronounce words or you don't know the meaning of words, don't use them.
Amazing. It really is. It could be a long year in New Orleans. Next, here's Aaron Rodgers. Of course, yesterday you were talking about the book that Ian O'Connor is putting out. Here's Aaron Rodgers saying, Scotty, that yes, there's an extra gear that's still there, even after missing a year. And at his age, he's got an extra gear that's going to kick in this year for the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have an extra gear that I haven't shown yet. I'm not sure how much of an extra gear that is. In my mind, maybe that's just pushing me. I got maybe a little bit more I can give. But, like, being able to move in the pocket and still make throws and then extend a play and is something I'd love to be able to do. It could be an extra little bonus for the offense. But plays like today make me feel like I'm ready to go.
Listen, let's face facts. The guy can play. There's no getting around it. Let's not kid ourselves here. This guy can flat out play, and he can make plays, make throws. He knows what he's doing. Super experienced. He lost the year. The question is, how will he play off the Achilles surgery? That's the entirety of this conversation. How will he play coming off an Achilles? And the reality is, 8 out of 10 dentists prefer anyone that comes back from an Achilles is never even remotely the same as they were before. Name anyone that is. No one, including Kobe, no one is the same after that surgery. I don't care what anybody says. What do they do? I don't even know what they do. Don't they use like cadavers and stuff to fix it? Christ, they'll tear off your hip bone to use it, down there in your ankle. God only knows what they fix it with. A piece of steel, for all I know. All I know is that players are never the same in any sport after they have the surgery. That's all there is to it. Now, that's his mobility factor for me. I'm not worried about his smarts or his arm. I'm not worried about that guy making throws. And he's got talent all around him. Allegedly, they're loaded. Allegedly, they're this great team. Well, I have to tell you, when I saw him, not playing, but when I just saw him, walking around in camp and everything, let's just be honest. He's old. He's old. You know what he is to me? He's Brett Favre. He's old. That's it. He's old. No one wants to admit it with all of his lovers and all of his dark retreats and his mushrooms and euthanasia, whatever the hell it's called. He's on psychedelics. He just is old. That's all there is to it. He's old.
He is old. No question about that. I got more bad news for you. We'll do more NFL after I talk to Keith and finish off Golf Wednesdays.
The bad news
two-run triple for Jackson Merrill. A 2-run homer for David Peralta. 8-0 Padres after 3 innings.
I love the Pirates today. A big comeback.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back for El Coast to Coast on a Wednesday, a Golf Wednesday on C2C. And, of course, every week, joining us to get ready for this weekend's PGA Tour event is, of course, Keith Stewart from Read the Line, the red-hot Keith Stewart from Read the Line, as he once again, well, not just red-hot because he's in Memphis. I mean, that's another reason why he's red-hot. But red-hot after pulling off the double last week with both the women and the men with Aaron Rai at the Wyndham, a wild 36-hole finish on Sunday. Keith, good to see you as always, and a hell of a weekend for you.
Oh, Carver, it is great to get to Golf Wednesday, and let me tell you something. The only place hotter than Golf Wednesdays here on SportsGrid and Read the Line is Memphis. Man, it is a swamp down here. It is so hot, and the air is so thick. I can't get over it, but you know what, though? It's not going to stop us. For the second time in 3 weeks, we hit the men and the women. Lydia Ko, she grabs gold on Saturday, 33-1. Back it up on Sunday with a cart path bounce. And next thing you know, two gloves, Aaron Rai, 35-1. Another almost 70 on the weekend to 1. I mean, 3 weeks ago, we had Vegas and Lauren Coughlin. What are we doing? I mean, the playoffs, it's hot down here, and we are just as scintillating.
It's been a great year on Golf Wednesdays. It really has. It's been just a phenomenal year for all of us. We've done a tremendous job as we hit the playoffs here this week at the St. Jude. And I'll just say this. I don't know if I texted it to you or I tweeted it to you, or maybe I'm saying it to you now for the first time. That was as gutless as it gets from Cameron Young, and I will never bet him again in my life, Keith. After what he did on Sunday, all those names that he was around for a chance to win for the first time on tour, and for him to go completely in the tank in that first 18 on Sunday, I just couldn't believe it. Unbelievable.
I mean, I told you last week, I said, I'm going with this guy because something weird is going to happen. When they weren't going to repair the third and the fourth round, that was his opportunity. He was with his group for the day. Just run it out, buddy. He was playing good because he was in contention, and an absolute folding of the house of cards. Done. He's dead to all of us. No longer is there going to be Cameron on Wednesdays. It's not happening. You know, he might have me stop betting all the Camerons on Wednesdays. I feel that badly about it.
Absolutely finished. Absolutely finished with this guy. All right, Keith, as we always do every week, let's talk about TPC Southwind. Of course, added a few years ago as the first leg of these FedEx Cup playoffs where the top 70 are going to be. Tell me a little bit about the course, anything different from last year, etc. And as always, you kind of hinted at it. What do we got weather-wise this week?
All right, so the golf course is one of the more vanilla TPCs. That's not a bad thing. It requires you to hit the ball well. You've got to find the fairway off the tee, and you have to be great with your approach game. The greens are kind of flat. They are Bermuda grass, so they will be grainy, and successful experience on Bermuda grass is a good thing. The couple things that everyone needs to know on a Golf Wednesday. Number one, it's been raining today, and it's obviously very hot down here, very humid. The grass is getting spongy. The greens, they are receptive. I love to go out on Wednesdays and look at the pro-ams. If the amateurs are hitting greens and holding them, that means that the guys are going to do it all weekend. So the greens are receptive. Here's the other thing. Something very special that everyone overlooks down here at TPC Southwind is the differential, the beta between hitting the rough and the Bermuda and hitting the fairways with your Zoysia. Like, there's no other golf course, maybe a U.S. Open, is the disparity so much. You get in this Bermuda here, you cannot control trajectory, spin, length of the shot, and these greens are 4,300 square feet on average, which is small by tour standards. So you get in the rough, and all of a sudden, you can't hit greens, and you can't make birdies, and you're going to need about 20 subpar scores to contend. But if you hit the fairway and you're on that Zoysia, and two-thirds of your approach shots are coming between 125 and 200, I mean, that's an 8-iron. A 9-iron for these guys, right? They are going to be on target. So you got to hit the fairway. Guys are going to dial it back with the driver. But as you're building out your betting card, and you and I are doing this, that's what we're looking for. Hit the fairway, great mid-iron player, and then can you capitalize on Bermuda grass greens?
That is what you are going to need this week at the St. Jude. That is for sure. All right, let's start the outrights. We always do one highlight, and then we'll get the rest of the card after the break. And I'm with you, and I always say I love when we're reading the same mail. And for the outrights this week, we got a bunch of guys that were reading the same mail, including Patrick Cantlay at 25-1. Now, I think Patrick's played well since the U.S. Open, a lot better than he's played all year. And, Keith, he, of course, lost in a playoff here a year ago to Lucas Glover.
Yeah, he definitely fits the golf course. He likes the golf course. He's a good Bermuda grass player. He's also a good Middle America player. He's been good at the Memorial. He's been good at other spots around this part of the country. And, you know, the thing with me is that, and I talked to his teacher, after the Memorial, when he missed the cut badly in the signature event, he went to the U.S. Open early. And he had kind of a come to Patrick moment there. And since then, he's been gaining on approach steadily, and he's also been gaining with the putter. But when you start hitting it close, then you start to feel good about other parts of your game. I mean, this guy gained 6 strokes at Royal Troon in the bad weather wave on approach. So now you put him in the playoffs, where he's already been a FedEx Cup champion, where he already has 3 playoff wins. This guy's going to ride some momentum this time of year. And I just love the way he's hitting. I saw him on the range today. I mean, the stark comparison, he was sitting next to his buddy, Max Homa. The two of them hitting balls side by side. It couldn't have been any different. And Patrick was just absolutely, he was as cool as the Iceman can be. I feel really, really good about him as a pick this week. And guess what? He's 11th right now. I know he's secure for Eastlake and everything, but for the last 3 years, this guy has finished in the top 10 in the FedEx Cup points, right, at the end of the year. He is a playoff performer, and that's the type of guys that we are looking for this year. He's motivated by where he finishes at the end of the year, and I think that that's really, really important. And you know what? At the end of the day, the rain we got today, which you're not going to hear about on weather reports and everything, it softened the golf course up to make it super target-oriented. These guys that are on point with their iron game, like Cantlay, and have proven they can score here before, are absolutely super, super live this week.
30 seconds, Keith, and we're going to do the rest of the card after the break. How much are you looking at guys between 5 and 70 who obviously they really need to get it going this week because they want to get to Denver next week for the BMW?
Well, the tour loves to talk about how much movement there is and everything, but the fact of the matter is only 2 guys jumped last year and 2 guys fell out, right? The guys that got in were Cam Davis and Hideki, right? I mean, it's Hideki, right? So yeah. I don't expect there to be a lot of movement. I expect those guys to be real aggressive from 70 to 50, but I don't expect a lot of movement.
We'll come back and get the rest of the card. Keith Stewart, read the line, coast to coast, right after this.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We are back, Ferrall, Coast to Coast on a Wednesday, a Golf Wednesday on C2C, and Keith Stewart from Read the Line is with us every week to get us ready for this week's event. It is the FedEx Cup playoffs. It is the St. Jude Championship now. No more Classic because it's in the FedEx Cup playoffs. And Keith is there in Memphis getting us ready. We already know that Patrick Cantlay is on the card for you, Keith. Let's get the rest of it, including another guy that I'm on who has great history here, has won here in the past, knows the area well, and that is Justin Thomas.
Well, we'll start right there then. On Monday, Golf Digest, as soon as the odds drop, I do it every week. I pinpoint a guy who's at a great value, and I know it's going to drop. JT was 50-1 plus 5,000 on Monday. He's already down at 40. I mean, everyone knows what his course history is here. He won here at WGC event against an elite field in 2020. Thomas absolutely just, his ball jumps off Zoysia grass. He's a great mid-iron player. And where Thomas has been comfortable this year, like Valhalla, off Zoysia, in this region, with the Kentucky fans all supporting him, he finished 8th. So I love Thomas coming in here in the mode that he's in. You know, you look at it this way. TPC Southwind, guys with 4 starts or more, the guy with the lowest scoring average is JT. He is going to have the fans behind him like a Ryder Cup. They're going to be cheering him on. And he can stare down Scotty on a Sunday. Not a lot of guys can in that range of 40s and 50s. So I love that pick. The second guy, is anybody hitting it better than Sung J M? I know he was disappointing at Wyndham. But you know what, though? There's a condition here. When all of a sudden you're the betting favorite and you're having to do interviews and your routine is messed up and you are the favorite to win it all, sometimes the middle tier guys, you know, they kind of fall back. Right? But now he's triple the odds, and he's sitting in the middle of the pack here. And the guy's gaining 9 strokes total against the field. 9, Carver. 9 strokes total per event against the field. That's how good he's hitting it. I saw him today on the range right out here in front of me, and he's absolutely striping it. He's great on golf courses like this. He won at the Honda, right? He won at Shriners where you needed a ton of birdies, put the ball in play, score on Bermuda. And then the third guy, Tom Kim. Now, here's what I love about Tom Kim. He's hitting it great. We all know that. He's had a good summer so far. But Tom Kim is sitting at 43rd on the points list. He's got to get to Eastlake. This guy is going to be a stalwart on that President's Cup team at Royal Montreal, and he can't take a month off until then. He is so motivated to get to Atlanta. Sitting at 43, he's got to get in that top 30. And next week we're playing 8,000 yards up at the BMW. This is his place to get it done.
It certainly is. I'm with you on Tom Kim as well. He has knocked on the door a lot here over the last couple months this summer. Let's see if he can kick it in this weekend in Memphis. All right, the placements. I'll highlight for you, we talked about this during the break. Eric Cole's one of those guys who's just beyond that 50 number that is going to look to get into the top 20. Who else do you see here with your placements?
Well, when you start to talk about that in the top 20, so Eric Cole for a top 20, but how about Max Grazerman? A little known fact out here is that most guys, they make about 75% of their money in a 6-week span. We know that Max is hot right now. He was great at the 3M runner-up. Then, of course, he was great last week until the cart path there at the Wyndham, right? I'm riding him again. This is a good golf course for him. He's a good ball striker, and he can score on Bermuda. I love that kid for a top 20. To finish out the top 20s, we're going to go with Sepp Straka. He lost here in a playoff a couple years ago, but he loves Zoysia grass. Great ball striker. He was decent at the Open Championship. This time of year in the heat in the Southeast, being a Georgia Bulldog, it fits him as well. Top 10, Tony Finau. There might be only one guy other than Scotty. Forget Scotty at the top. But these guys in the middle, just like Sung J M, Tony Finau is striking the ball beautifully, and he was striping it today for sure on the range, and I love his mindset. He seemed really like he was vibing around this place. He's hitting it good, and Tony's been good on Bermuda grass. He's gained with his putter in the last couple of events, so if you're concerned there, he's coming in with great ball striking and a hot putter.
Let's go to the head-to-heads, and I was expecting, as always, usually if Jordan Spieth's in the field, you go after him, but not this week, Keith. You're giving him a break because it's his last tournament of the year.
Well, I wouldn't give him a break if I could, but the problem is that Golf Wednesdays are becoming such a thing. They're not giving it to him as giving him anymore, but they're just not giving them to us anymore with odds that make it worth. I'm not laying 150 in order just to take down Jordan. There's other guys that I can find that are out there that are wounded. There's no doubt about that. Let's start with, Corey Connors. He's sitting number 30. That guy wants to guarantee Eastlake. He's been playing great. 8 straight top 30s. And then, of course, he's going against Victor Hovland. Victor Hovland, man, oh, man, he's 57th on the points list. He was FedEx Cup champion last year. He may not make it to Eastlake again, and it's because the short game. He's losing 2.5 strokes per event. You can't do that at this elite field. I'm taking Corey at minus 125. And then Eric Cole, we talked about him already on Bermuda grass, positional golf course, make a ton of birdies. 7th last week versus Mav McNeely. Mav McNeely, the ball striking is kind of trending downwards, and he was 45th last week at Wyndham.
Keith Stewart, Golf Wednesdays on C2C.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than game time decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire. only on SportsGrid.
The BetMGM First Bet 1500 is very popular around here. How do you get the offer? 4 easy steps. 1, download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android or at BetMGM.com. 2, sign up and deposit at least $10 in your new account. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. And 4, if the bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled, Carver High.
Indeed. You have to get involved with that. An absolute must-have. 6-1 Diamondbacks. Man, Eugenio Suarez missed one for me, Scotty. He hit one a double to the track. I mean, it was this close. We would have had ourselves some nice Golf Wednesday hits with Eugenio Suarez. Put it with the golf, I should say. Still 8-0 Padres over the Buccos, unfortunately, out at Petco as they need to get the rally.
What a meltdown.
Not a good start. So they're going to start Skeens at home on Friday night against Seattle, right? Is that what I saw? They'll do Skeens. I believe his next start's Friday night when they come back from the West Coast.
Does it matter at this point? When you lose 10 in a row, you're
got to be a
finished.
stopper. He's got to be the stopper on Friday night. Be the stopper for the Buccos, Paul Skeens. All right, I have more football for you. I told you I was going to give you some coaches who just refuse to talk about injuries. It's that time of the year. Everybody gets hurt. Nobody gets the true story. You have to wait, like you said, until O'Connell just has to admit it. Yeah, the guy tore his knee. He's done for the year. Here's Brian Dable getting questioned about Malik Neighbors and his injuries at Giant Camp yesterday.
What did the MRI show?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the details. He's okay. He'll be okay.
So he had those tests though? Like
he did.
Had the MRI and the X-ray?
Yep.
And you're okay.
Yes.
So he has a sprained ankle, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got an ankle. It's nothing serious. So.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll say this much: I don't really believe him, but he does look fantastic with all that weight he lost. I mean, honestly,
he does. He looks very good. Now, Zach Taylor of the Bengals, Scotty, he takes it to another level. He likes to throw the term around several weeks when talking about guys. He brought the dictionary with him to the press conference to let the press know exactly what several means.
Marius Mims has a strained pec, non-surgical, so he'll miss several weeks. So that's, I think, it's unfortunate he'll miss several weeks, but expect him to make a full recovery and be ready to roll. Mm-hmm. Several weeks from today. I think Webster defines it an indefinite number between that's more than 2 and fewer than many.
More than 2 and fewer than many, Scotty. That's what several means. They like to throw several around. It means more than 2 and fewer than many. Nice job there by Zach.
Yeah, I still blame him for the Super Bowl that he screwed that up. He's another one. He's another one that, for my betting money, he screwed it all up. Frankly, same with Kyle Shanahan. He's another one that screws up Super Bowls real nice and juicy.
He is very good at that. There's no question about that. All right.
So I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's funny. I think he's relatively weak in the big game. They had that game won and they blew it. And then I thought his play calling was atrocious. And same thing with Shanahan. We've already seen him destroy, 3 Super Bowls now?
3 would be the count, yes, that are on his watch, whether he likes it or not. 3
But he's a better coach than Zach Taylor.
Yes. Listen, he's got a bunch of puzzling losses, let's just say, Kyle Shanahan. He's got a few. Don't forget that NFC title game against the Rams either, which they had won when Tart dropped the pick and other things that went on in that game. So he's had a few.
God, Tart. You had to bring him up.
Tart, your guy. Bo Nix, of course, played very well for the Broncos last week. odds to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. 17-1 before preseason week 1, now down to 12. Of course, 15 for 21 with 125 and a tutty in his first game. Everybody has basically already handed it to Caleb Williams, Scotty, or Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe Nix has a chance.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Not with those names ahead of him. So I think, look, at some level, I know people are getting all worked up about Bo Nix, but let's get real here about the Denver Broncos and their win totals, their probabilities, what their season's going to be like, how many games are they going to win, and, that this rookie – you have to understand, the guy played in a preseason game and had a couple of nice passes and a decent game against hacks. And then when they put him in against guys that make millions, he'll get eaten alive. I don't deny that he has potential and that, they drafted him and the sky's the limit for the next 10 years of his life, at least, to grow and turn into something. But right away, you're betting on that guy to do what besides nothing? Like, what's he going to do? He's not going to do anything. And all these people crowning the Bears, they're going to be highly disappointed as well. All the people that have bet on the Bears to win the Super Bowl, rip the tickets now and take your wife out to dinner or something, because you're losing all that money.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, because I also have this for you today. The betting favorite for the Coach of the Year is Matt Eberflus. He's gone. He opened at 18. He's gone to 9. He's the betting favorite to be the Coach of the Year this year. Everyone loves Eberflus now.
I'll tell you what, if he loses, they'll fire him, because he's already done nothing but lose there. So how much more of it are they going to put up with? Like, if they drafted this guy and they put all these guys like Moore around him and all this talent around him, and I've heard how great they're going to be. I don't believe for 1 minute that they're going to be great and that he's winning Coach of the Year. I don't believe it for 1 minute. Like, the bottom line is, in my opinion, he's been one of the worst coaches in the NFL the last few years. And now all of a sudden he's the best. Now he's the favorite because they got Caleb Williams. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it happen. I want to see it come to fruition that he wins the Rookie of the Year and he wins the Coach of the Year, and they go to the playoffs and they win the Super Bowl when hell freezes over. I mean, honestly. You have a better chance of swimming naked in Lake Michigan in January for an hour and surviving than the Bears winning the Super Bowl.
The most bet players to win the MVP this year. Of course, we know Mahomes is the favorite. He's also the most bet player. 13.3% of the money is on him. Goff, Stroud, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. Wow, even got some Anthony Richardson and Caleb Williams money on that list as well, Scotty, for MVP.
Well, I think they love Stroud. Everyone loves this Stroud guy.
Yeah.
Like, they've already crowned him the next great thing, right? Like, he's the flavor of the month. My man is so popular. I'm surprised he's not, ahead of Goff, to be honest with you. And I will never, in my opinion, think that they'll live down that loss to the Niners. In fact, I don't think they'll ever recover from it. In fact, everyone that thinks they're going right back to the NFC title game and going to the Super Bowl, I think those people they just need to go get some new weed or something, because you don't recover from this kind of stuff. Like, they're like the Falcons. You remember the Falcons in the Super Bowl? What have the Falcons been like since that blown 25-point lead at the half of the Super Bowl? They haven't won. Like, have they won a game since then? Like, they have imploded. I mean, they're awful. They've never recovered from that. I don't see how the Lions, I know everyone thinks they're just automatic. They paid all these players and they're automatic. Greatest team ever. That choke was so bad against the Niners. Honestly, guys catching passes off their helmets. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I don't think you ever recover from that. I don't think they'll ever live at that.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Who cares if the Pirates can't win a game for a month? At least the Bartman hit a tater for Carver High today. Ring the bell.
Oh, the Bartman at plus 525, going yard in an 8-0 game. We love to see that. There is nothing better than going to the window with garbage time home runs. They are the best when you get the garbage time homers down 8 runs. It's awesome. Joey Bart getting involved. All right, a few other things. I have a lot to cover here. I want to get one more NFL thing in with you. Most bet to make the playoffs. Here we go. And I have missed too. Look at this. The Steelers again. The most bet team tickets to make the playoffs at plus 175. The Raiders and Panthers also on the most bet to make. In terms of the money, Eagles, Chargers, and Raiders, most bet to make the playoffs.
Okay, now let's just calm down. These 3 teams, here's the facts, okay? I'm a huge Steeler fan. We all know I'm a homer. But they have a brutal schedule, absolutely brutal schedule. So I actually could see them not making the playoffs easily. And, everyone thinks it's that 3 of the 4 teams in the North could make the playoffs because the North is so stacked and so incredible and such an amazing division. Well, what if it wasn't? What if it ends up like all these grandiose predictions of, all 4 teams are in, they're a great team, they're all winners, Tomlin never loses. Well, until he does lose. And then the Raiders and Panthers, they smell from here. They stink like a landfill from here to me. They have the quarterback situation in Vegas is a joke. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what anybody says. Aiden O'Connell, what he is, he's like a Purdue quarterback. That's what he is, and they all stink except Breeze, I guess, with his 1 ring. And then I'll give Breeze, he had a good career. I'll give Breeze that, but no one else. And then the Panthers, Stroud's so much better than Young, it's not even funny. The Panthers are awful, okay? The Carolina Panthers are awful. The Steelers, Raiders, and Panthers, the most bet to – they are just taking everyone's money and laughing at people. They're laughing, the sports books. They're laughing. They're giving raises to all their traders because of people making bets like this.
The most bet to miss the playoffs. Most bet to miss. Bears, Chargers and Jets. Most bet to miss the playoffs on the tickets. Bears, Chargers, Cowboys. Most bet to miss with the money. So the tickets there on the left side.
Oh, all right. So most bet to miss the playoffs. Bears, Chargers, Jets. Well, everyone said the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. So how is it that they're going to miss the playoffs? And most bet money. Like, look, I still think the Cowboys are a playoff team. They're loaded. They're really good. They just lose in the playoffs. That's what they are. They're a great team that wins regular season games, Thanksgiving games, Christmas games, and then they lose in January. Well, once Santa's gone, they're gone. They're one and done. That's every year now. Every year they're a failure. So I still think they make the playoffs. And people that think the Jets are winning the Super Bowl, how's that gone since the 60s?
It hasn't, is how it's gone. It hasn't gone at all. We mentioned this briefly earlier. Colin Kaepernick still wants a shot at the NFL, says that he's still training every day. I saw that interview. I think it was with Sky Sports in Europe, Scotty, or in England. Still thinks he should get a shot. Still thinks he. It
is amazing to me that every year for 7 years they run this same story. Like it's almost like it's a birthday or something. Like it comes around every year, and you have to run a Colin Kaepernick story, like at training camp that he wants back in.
It's like Bobby Bonilla Day.
It is. Aren't we just fed up with it already? Can he go do something else and let us all move on to someone else? Morency had it best. There's just 25 other guys at least that deserve a shot before him.
Probably.
When you're 7 years removed from the NFL, I mean, you have the 7-year itch.
Yes, you certainly do. Texas running back Christian Clark suffers an Achilles injury. That is the second Texas running back to go down for the season in Longhorn camp. So not a good start for them, Scotty. They've lost both of their best running backs. I'm sure they have a couple other decent ones waiting in the wings. We shall see. Former Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, he wins the starting quarterback job in Wisconsin, Scott. Your boy, Van Dyke in Madison this year.
Go ahead. Go ahead and play at Camp Randall. You were awful in Miami. So good riddance. No one cares that he's the starting quarterback at Wisconsin, honestly.
We, of course, played Dion the other day from Colorado. Did you know that Warren Sapp is on his staff? Sapp said he got talked into the job by Dion, and he's fired up to coach the D-line, Scotty. Look at your boy Warren.
It's a very humbling game that we play. And if you think you can do this all by yourself, I tell them I got a gold jacket and I'll rip it up and tear it up, not to have 10 other guys come fight with me, because me out on that field is just one guy, and you're just one guy. So we need a unit and a pack to go hunt. And when you pack, a bunch of wild dogs show up in your neighborhood, nobody's coming outside. And that's what I'm telling them. We're going to show up like a bunch of wild dogs to the stadium, and we're going to hunt. The table is set, let's eat.
I like that. Let's go. I mean,
the table's set. Let's eat.
They're the most overrated team for 2 years running in all of football. In all football, including pro football and college football combined, and high school football. They're the most overhyped, over-talked about, over-waste of time team that I've ever seen in my life. They get more attention than the Kansas City Chiefs. They really do.
They do. We will come back. I have so many leftovers today, and I have to play you one of the most awkward press conferences I've ever seen in my life this morning in Toronto, as one player presents his captaincy to another player. I've never seen anything like it. You'll see it on Coast
It's uncomfortable with Tavares and Matthews.
It's so awkward. Here you go. You're the captain now. Imagine making the guy go there to introduce the other guy as the captain. Like, what are we... That's amazing.
I bet he wants out of there now, Tavares.
He's got 1 year left. So why you couldn't wait a year to take it away from him?
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, the leftovers are stacked, and we've got tons of them with gravy.
Lots of gravy here. All right, the NBA continues to slowly filter out small, insignificant parts of their schedule. They announced the NBA Cup group stage schedule. All right, this is going to be in November. Klay Thompson returns to Golden State. Is it Eugenio Suarez, Scotty? It is with a grand slam for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Gino Malkin Suarez.
Gino Suarez getting involved. All right. Klay Thompson returns to Golden State as part of that schedule on November the 12th. We'll see you then.
How
the Utah
this?
Jazz signed.
They gave out every Tuesday and Friday game for like a month.
Yes, that's precisely what they did. The Utah Jazz signed Patty Mills to a one-year deal with $3.3 million. Patty Mills still going. You could save the WNBA standings for tomorrow. I guess they restart tomorrow. Coach is coming on and talking about it. We'll do the standings tomorrow. Do you have a pick for the St. Jude? You've heard me and the Prime Minister and Keith. You want to throw a name out there for TPC
so
Southwind?
Pressure that you're listen.
I mean, come on.
Look at what you're doing to me here. How about I'm under just such a strain.
Such a strain, I know. I'll give you one shot at it.
Give me Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac getting involved. They released the 2025 PGA Tour schedule today. Now, it doesn't matter that you can't see this because guess what, Scotty? It's the same exact schedule they did this year. They didn't change anything. In the same order, like the same dates. There is no change. It's the same schedule we had this year. Can we mix it up a little bit? No, we can't do it. Here we go. The most awkward press conference ever when you have a guy who's been your captain since he signed there 6 years ago show up to give the captaincy to someone else on the team. Here's John Tavares and Austin Matthews this morning in Toronto.
I'm extremely honored to be here to announce and pass on the seat to the 26th captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews.
He's going to take a picture with him with the uniform. Like, I mean...
And the guy can't open the box.
Can't open the box.
GM.
Look at Tavares. He's got to hand him the jersey with his C on it. I mean, how embarrassing.
seriously, like,
That's
how uncomfortable. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a captain really stripped of his captaincy and given like a jersey with the C on it to someone else, and he stays on the team. I've only seen a captain change hands when a guy leaves a team and they have to name a new captain. I've never seen a captain give up his captaincy to another player and stay.
It's happened a couple times recently. In LA, it happened with Kopitar, got it from Dustin Brown. But I don't think they did that. They didn't have Dustin Brown go up there and hand him a jersey with a C on it. Like, this is a little too much there in Toronto. Finally, Dana White says Conor McGregor won't fight in 2024. Enough already.
This is every year for the last how many years have we done this story?
This is like the Kaepernick and the Bobby Bonilla story. Every year that we do this story, he's not going to fight. Baseball, softball, cricket, flag football, lacrosse, and squash will all be in L.A. in 2028. They have kicked out the breakdancing. That will not be in L.A.
I told you that wasn't a sport. I really did tell you it wasn't a sport. I thought it was cool, but it's not a sport. Ferrall finished. Texas man accused of hiding explosives under toilets at local businesses that detonated when people sat down to cable. I mean, that is just fantastic. Your guy is setting bombs under toilets to see what kind of action he can get going. A giant statue of Marilyn Monroe in an iconic pose, the one with her dress blowing up, is going to be moved after locals complained that it's sexist and children can see her underwear. God forbid that the children see the underwear of the smoke show hottie Marilyn Monroe. I think it's good for business. Paid lover charged with murder of a beloved Detroit brain surgeon. So the Detroit brain surgeon was paying for his nookie, and then the nookie person killed the brain surgeon. I have seen it all. He was paying for it, and the same person killed him. Jimi Hendrix' legendary West Village studio is allegedly haunted, and they just named a street after Jimi Hendrix downtown in the Bowery. GTD is next. Go to FerrallOnEvents.com. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 Eastern on Coast to Coast.
Listed as quarterback one on, of course, every team's got to put out these dopey unofficial depth charts before their preseason games. Wilson listed as one, but Fields is going to start the preseason opener against the Texans.
I still think they're going to start Wilson, but, if they start Fields, so be it. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I know this. I think they're both talented.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
What is the ceiling for this kid? Now that he's got the money, and we saw something click with him, what is the ceiling for a Jordan Love in this Green Bay team?
Deepest pass target group in the National Football League, 2 stud tight ends. They're a legit 5 deep at receiver, 7 bona fide pass targets. Come on, man. This guy could be a stud. Top 5 quarterback.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Say the under has the correct juice to the 6.5 win total for the New York Giants. It's a losing season. It's a bad season in the greater New York area. Is Brian Daboll and is Joe Shane back next year?
As a Giants fan, what are you looking forward to? Absolutely nothing. You're hoping like the Yankees make a long enough run so you can forget about the Giants.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.